Hello, on Vito's A here, back with another edition of Trick Taking Thursday. Today we're going to look at how to play the game Somnia, which is put out by New Mill Industries, designed by Kazuma Suzuki, and illustrated by Elisa Zuru. Originally, this came out in 2019 from a company called Tart Games, I guess in Japan. And it's a trick taking game, of course, by New Mill Industries, in which we will actually be making use of the box to identify the Trump suit. As you see, they got the four colors here, the pink, purple, green, and orange. And you got this little token. Looks like a pill. It's not a Tylenol. Don't take it. And once we determine the Trump suit, we're going to put this on that suit to indicate it. But we'll put that in the middle for now. We'll put the box aside. You also get these wooden cubes that represent your life tokens. In the original game, they actually had cardboard tokens with hearts on them. I think this is a little bit more generic than it needed to be. They could have done a little bit more, but I mean, they could have fit something a little bit bigger in the game. These are pretty small, generic cubes, but it is what it is. The cards have eyeballs on them, and you got different suits in them. You got purple, pink, green, and orange. And they're numbered from 2 through 10, so 9 in each suit, from what I recall. Each player, 2 to 10 in 4 suits, 36 dream cards, 12 life cubes, and a nightmare disc, which is this. Each player is going to get 3 cubes. And basically, you're going to play until one person has no cubes left. And once one person has no cubes left, whoever has the most cubes left will win the game. And I'll explain how you're going to lose cubes and everything. It can be a little bit complex. We will deal each player an equal amount of cards, 9 cards in a 4-player game or 12 in a 3-player game. So let's just deal those out. And you can determine the start player and dealer however you choose. Now this game is all about nightmares. Let me talk about that for a minute here. And in dream walking. And it says that if you enter your dreamscape, you can snatch fragments of dreams. But if you collect too many fragments, your greed can turn into a nightmare, trapping you in the dreamscape. And it says, did your fellow dreamwalkers collect the same number of fragments as you? Alas, you become tethered together in captivity by the black string of fate. With all this danger about, perhaps it'd be safest to avoid the dreamscape. But too late, you're already here. You try to escape before you become trapped in your own internal night. ... So it's kind of interesting. Trick-taking game. At some point in time, one suit will become the nightmare suit, aka the Trump suit, which I'll explain how that happens. And to look at the cards, this number here in the corner represents the rank of the card, so 8, 10. These other little numbers you see inside of an eyeball is how many points you get for winning that card. The 7s and the 5s are an exception. The 7s or 5s will be 7 or 5. The 7 will be worth 2. The 5 is worth nothing. Same with the 2, for instance. However, if the 7 or the 5 is part of the nightmare suit, the Trump suit, it will then become an 11 or 12 and will be worth 13 or 20 points. But only if it is in the nightmare suit. The first player will be determined by whoever can remember the most recent dream. I probably could remember something, but I'm not going to get into it. You're going to be playing 9 tricks or 12 tricks, depending on the player count, and one person will lead. So let's say I lead this 10 purple. And it is must follow to some extent, so this guy's going to play purple. This guy will play a purple. And then this guy will play a purple. Highest card is suit lead, 8 to 10, wins the trick. And you can collect these. Realistically, you could just collect the point value cards and discard the other ones because they're really not important in the grand scheme of things. So then I would lead the next one. Maybe I lead purple again. This person does not have purple. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to play a different suit. Maybe they play this green suit or turquoise suit, whatever you want to call that. Once a person, for the first time in the game, plays a suit that was not lead, they can't play the lead suit, so they play off suit, that suit will become the nightmare suit or the trump suit. So because they couldn't follow, they played this suit, that becomes the nightmare suit. Had they played this one, this would have become the nightmare or trump suit. So this player is going to go. Now here's one little caveat I should probably mention. Once the trump suit has been played, has been determined, you can play off suit if you want. You can play, this next player can either play a purple suit and play the nightmare suit, play the purple suit that was led, or they can play the trump suit if they want, even if it wasn't led. And so they could, if they want to, play one of these trump suited cards instead of the purple card, and maybe they do that. The only caveat being, if you have purple in this case, and you decide not to follow, you to play a trump instead, it has to be higher than what was played, so they can play this 6 instead and beat the 5. And this guy's going to go, and he doesn't have any purple, so he's just going to play a trump suit and take that, and he's going to win all these delicious points. So then you continue playing like that. So hopefully that makes some sense. And this guy's going to lead this 10 in orange. I can, if I want, play the nightmare suit. I don't know if I will. I'll just play the 5. And this guy's going to go. He decides he will play the nightmare suit. And if he didn't have this card, he could just play whatever trump suit, the nightmare suit, if you will, or the pink suit. But if you do have the suit that was led, you can play a trump. And if a trump has already been played into a trick, and you have the suit that was led, like for instance, this guy, he could play one of these, but if he wants to play a trump, he cannot play the 3, he has to play higher, so he can play this 10 and win the trick, and collect all the cards. So then he leads, let's say he leads a 7. This guy will play a 9. I will play this 2 and go off suit. And this guy will win it. He'll take that. We can discard these because they don't have any points. And then he's going to lead the next trick. And he's going to play, let's say, this 10 pink. This guy decides to play the trump suit because he doesn't have pink. This guy says, I'm going to play a trump suit. And then I will play that one. So we can get rid of these. And he played the highest trump. So again, it's always going to be the highest card played of the suit led or the highest trump card or nightmare card as it is in this game. That will win the trick. And you're going to keep playing until you've played all the tricks. So play that. I'll play that. Whoops. This guy is going to play. He has no choice but to follow. He has no more trump suit. And same with this guy. So the highest one was me. So I get to collect all of these points. And I can discard these ones. You can just collect all of them, but you only really need the ones that have points on them. And I think those are his cards. Sorry, all over the place. So maybe I lead this 9. They will play 4. They will play 3. And they will play, let's just say they play a 2. So I win. I get 1 point card here. I get to lead again. I'll lead the 7 purple. Oops. I keep grabbing the wrong cards. They'll play the 7 pink. They'll play a 9, and they will play a 5. Now, remember, only the 7s, well, the 5s actually have points on them. So I said, make sure I didn't accidentally throw any of those out by mistake. I did. But generally, when it comes to the 5s, actually, it's only the 5s that we have to worry about. Only the 5s will not score any points unless it's the trump suit. So we can get rid of that 5. And he won the trick, so he gets to collect all his other cards. And then he gets to lead. The last one is going to be purple. And he wins, so he gets to collect some more cards. So then, you're going to kind of evaluate what happened here. And there's different things here. So you're going to look at, in a free player game, if any player took 0 tricks, they will lose a life cube. If no players took 0 tricks, any player with 100 or more points loses a life cube. If no players took 0 tricks or scored 100 plus points, then anyone who tied will lose a life cube. And if no players satisfy any of the above criteria, the player who comes in second place for total points loses a life cube. For 4 players, it's similar. So let's see if anyone has 86 or more points. And I have... Actually, I got a 5 here I don't need because it doesn't score anything. I have 10, 28 points. I have 28 points. This guy has 7. This guy has a bunch. We'll count his in a minute. This player here has 10, 20. This one doesn't count for anything. Actually, sorry, it does because it's the trump suit. Let's just see. 10, 20, 5. And 13 is going to be 38, 41, 44 points is what he has. And then let's look at this last player. I'll just count his here. So 10, 25, 30, 40, doesn't need the 5, 40, 70, 90, 80. I believe he has 80 points. So he doesn't meet this criteria either. So what you're going to see, to determine who loses the life cube, if a player has 86 or more points, they lose a life cube. Unless they scored all the points. So if you win all the cards, you don't lose any life cube. But every other player would lose a life cube if they don't win any tricks, and one player does. Well, not tricks, but all the point cards. If no player has 86 or more points, and all players took an equal number of points, they each lose a life cube. If that didn't happen, we all have different amounts of points. So let's see what's next here. If the first 2 criteria have not occurred, which they haven't, you'll see if the top 2 players have equal points, whoever comes in third loses a life cube. That is not true. They have different amounts of points. The bottom 2 players have equal points. Whoever comes in second loses a life cube. Again, not true. If the top 2 players are tied and the bottom 2 are tied, they all lose a life cube. If none have occurred, the players who come in second and third for total points both lose a life cube. So this guy has 7 points. He's in last place. I have, again, 28. This guy has whatever it was, 25, 30, something. So we would each, in this case, lose a life cube. And we'll just put them back into the supply. And then we reshuffle and we deal. We set this token and go through everything again. And again, you're going to keep playing tricks. And then once one person has no more life cubes left, the game ends. At that point, let's just say, this is the situation. Whoever has the most life cubes, this player in this example, would win the game. So it's an interesting little game. It's an interesting little trick-taking game. Pretty basic trick-taking game, except the criteria for determining who loses life cubes is a little bit... There's a lot. You have to look at this, and this, and try to figure out who's going to lose life cubes. And it might be this person or that person. I really was, in fairness, that they would have simplified that a little bit. It just seems like it's a little bit confusing, perhaps, for especially if you're not familiar with trick taking games. But outside of that, good quality components, nice linen finish on the cards, pretty nice artwork, and I like it. So that is that. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.